rainforest home to some very shy and reclusive creatures like these bongos and great kudos here on the left. It looks like they are pretty visible for us. So the greater critters are the ones that don't have horns because they're girls. They usually hang out in a group, either with each other or with their cousins here, the bongos. Keep in mind both male and female bongos have those horns because technically they can hang out by themselves or in a group. So again, both genders do need those horns. Keep in mind these animals can run 45 miles an hour. So of course we don't want to start a limb or start a stampede. Now coming up on the right hand side, that's going to be a Okapi. Now the Okapi is the giraffe's only known relative. They weren't discovered as a species up until the year 1901. Before that, they were believed to be an African myth. They granted wishes and brought really, really good luck. Keep in mind that is why they're called the African unicorn. However, as they relate to giraffes, they can't really grant wishes. Instead, sometimes they lick their own eyeballs when they're bored. Now, as we keep on going, I'm looking for another really cool animal. I'm looking for the black rhino. Now, black rhinos are very rare. There are less than 5,000 black rhinos left in the world. This is the poaching for the horns. Those horns are made out of keratin, and we do have keratin in our hair and fingernails. So it's not that rare, nor is it that special. And to help protect them, just make sure you buy eco-friendly products. Alright, I'm not seeing any black rhinos in the area, but keep in mind they are typically the smaller type of rhinos here in Africa, and as well as they are solitary. It means both male and females prefer to hang out by themselves. Also, they only weigh about 3,000 pounds. Makes it a lot easier for them to hide if they want to. Ooh, on the left. If you guys can see in the crevice of the rocks here, there was a black rhino laying on the rocks. Of course, he can be pretty hard to see because it's actually blending in with those rocks as well. Now, as we keep on going, for someone who stands out pretty obviously here on the left, these are called the saddle-billed storks. When they mate for life, and with that, this is going to be a boy and girl pair. If we can see them a little bit closer, girls have the bright yellow eyes, males have the black eyes. Now, since we are here in East Africa, it does make sense if I teach you guys a couple of Swahili words on the way. Swahili is going to be the official language of East African countries. It's countries like Kenya, Tanzania, Uganda, and Botswana. Now, coming from the right-hand side, I can actually teach you the first Swahili word for this animal. It's called kiboko in Swahili, but in English are known as the hippos. So they're coming up first on the right-hand side, but there will be more on the left in just a few more minutes as we're going down the hill. So if you can't look directly to your right, you should be seeing those hippos. So with that, we're going to keep on going for a very good visual of them on the left-hand side as well. Now, no matter if they're boys or girls, hippos will be quite large at about 5,500 pounds. They eat about 90 pounds of vegetation a day because they have 3 stomachs. On the left, there's a few of those girls. Now, the hippo that's very close to us on the left here, she has a baby very close to her head. So if you see an extra appendage sticking from her, that is her baby. It's only 2 months old. The baby is trying her best at holding her breath on her own. Bless you. Now, if she ever needs help, she can actually go to her mom. Her mom, of course, helps to lift her up and let her take a deep breath of air. Now, the baby's also good at swimming, but only weighs about 100 pounds at this point in time. Also, she can only hold her breath for, I believe, about 3 minutes. Mom is an expert and can hold her breath for about 8 minutes. Now, as we keep on going past the hippos, who in Swahili are once again called kiboko, on the left, these animals are called mamba, and they're also known as the Nile crocodile. Now, they get to be about 18 to 20 feet long with a jaw pressure of about 2,000 pounds per square inch. They can eat half their body weight in just one feeding.
Oh, hello.
Keep in mind, now, as you've seen here, there's a lot of animals called the waters at home. That's why it's important because we have protected our homes. It's actually very easy to do that. Just make sure you throw away your trash, either in trash cans or recycling bins, and they're on the ground. If it does go on the ground, then it's put in the waters, and eventually all waters do go straight to the ocean. So you definitely want to keep that clean. Now, coming on up, let's go check out someone else or something else. We're actually about to go to the Savannah, which sometimes can be lacking in both vegetation and water because it's going through some droughts. Now, what helps out with whenever they're going through those droughts is actually going to be the baobab trees, like the one on the right-hand side here. That tree gets to be about 3,000 years old. It'll conserve up to 1,000 gallons of water inside of its trunk by simply going leafless for 9 months out of the year. With that being said, animals can brush up against this tree using their horns or tusks, and they can actually draw water from it, which is why it's called the tree of life. It's called the upside down tree because it looks like roots sticking up from the ground. And it's also called the Rafiki tree because Rafiki actually was hanging out in the baobab tree in the Lion King movies. Now let's keep on going here, see who else is hanging out on the Savannah. Now, I'm seeing a lot of leafy greens here, so we're not really going through a drought right now. Instead, we're going to see the animals not migrating, but mostly browsing and grazing. Now, I'm seeing quite a few of our very famous, very tall residents already. These are going to be a couple of those Maasai giraffes. Now, these are once again going to be the Maasai giraffes. They're the tallest species of giraffes in this world, out of all 9 species at that. They can get from 16 to 20 feet tall, weighing up to 4,000 pounds. Also, just for you guys to get some really good dimensions of these animals, their necks are about 9 foot long, and they weigh about 800 pounds. They only have 7 vertebrae in their necks, just like humans, but of course, theirs are a lot bigger than ours. Their hearts are about 2.5 feet across and weigh 25 pounds. So with that, these animals truly are huge in every way. Now, even when they're born, they're very, very small at about, I'm so sorry, not small. They're pretty big at about 6 feet tall, weighing about 150 pounds. It's actually a really good thing because moms do give birth standing up. That means all babies have a drop of 6 feet as soon as they're born. Speaking of babies, I think I'm seeing one right now. I think that might be Humphrey over there. He's our newest baby giraffe at about 3 months old. Now, I will say Humphrey is probably the most curious baby giraffe I've ever experienced. I think he likes to stare at us all day long and try to figure out why we're driving in circles all day long. Now, he's also walking across the road very, very slowly right now. He's also getting used to other signals. Every animal that can cross the path of our trucks does learn to give us a signal. It's not something we introduce to them. It's something they give us, and we just respond to it naturally with them. So with that, he's still testing out those signals. They're very cute.
He's adorable. Look at him.
Coming up on the left-hand side, let's see what's saying right here. Oh, the African wild dogs. So these are the African wild dogs or painted dogs. Relate to the animals they have a home and to the wolves. Keep in mind they can't actually bark or howl, and instead they squeak, like a squeaky toy. They can run almost 50 miles an hour, have a hunting success rate of about 90%. And they vote on everything they want to do together by sneezing for yes and by saying silent for no. They vote on things like when they sleep, when they eat, and when they play. To get up to the African wild dogs on the left, and let's keep on going. Oh, by the way, in Swahili, they're called Mbwikutu. On the left, seeing a warden over there, so leaving a little surprise for the giraffes. That's not much of a surprise because I see someone who's making eye contact with the warden. Just waiting for her to leave the area so she can go over and express to have dibs on that big leafy green tree. Very cute. Now, these are the Maasai giraffes. They're actually named after a Swahili-speaking tribe called the Maasai tribe. Instead of calling these animals giraffes, they actually call them twiga. So T-W-I-G-A, twiga is going to be the Swahili word for giraffe. With that, I see the baby over there just exploring. Now, he's mostly attracted to smaller branches or lower branches like the one he's facing in front of right now. That's because, again, he's the smallest giraffe in the reserve. Keep in mind, with him being the smallest giraffe in the reserve at about 6'5", his dad is actually tallest at 18 foot, or 18 feet tall. So there's a good 12 foot difference between tallest and smallest giraffe in the reserve. Oh, speaking of which, there's dad on the left. So you can see that big giraffe is towering over everyone. That would be bad. I know, right? Keep in mind that is still growing. Also, we have stopped because there's a giraffe in the road, so congratulations, guys. We are now in a giraffe jam. I didn't make it up. I'm so sorry, guys. With that, so she's just staying with the warden, making eye contact with us, I guess. Raise your hand if you have a pet at home, like a dog or something like that. Raise your hand if your dog doesn't listen to you ever. Yes, that's what she's doing. She knows, but she just doesn't care. It's okay. Now, oh, the two on the left-hand side, 2 baby giraffes here, they were actually born last year at about a week apart. We call them the twins, or me and me too, because everywhere they go together. And with that, there are going to be 2 girls. Of course, if you would like to learn their names, I can tell you guys that a little bit later on. As for the baby giraffe on the right, he's just really enamored with this branch. I'm going to try to ease up a bit closer so we can get a better visual of him. If we're going to stop, we might as well stop with a really good view. Look at him go. Oh, there's 2 giraffes in the road. Yay for us.
So funny. And giraffes in the road
right there. Just stand in there.
They're like, haha.
Soft spot now.
We can also look to the right. You don't have to look to the left at those 2 giraffes in the road. Very cute. Yeah, there's a couple of wardens in the area. The wardens are, of course, going to help us out in just a few minutes. They speak the international language of food, helps us with getting these animals out of the road. So again, if you ever wonder how do you move 2 4,000-pound animals, you don't exactly pick them up. You just entice them with really cool leafy greens. Oh, there he is, just looking at us right now.
Oh.
Let's see, he's at 1, 2, 3, 4 chins, if you guys are looking at that. Now, every animal that's born in our reserve, they do have a profile picture whenever we announce that a baby's been born. In his first profile picture, he had exactly 5 chins, which I found very, very cute. Here's a giraffe going to cross the road in front of us. Technically, when a giraffe crosses the road in front of you, it's called a giraffe blessing. It's a sign of very good luck.
Look, go see that. He's crossing in front of Dad. You see him?
Isn't she beautiful?
So pretty.
What if we had to pet him? What if we could pet him?
You can't.
Now, one of my favorite things about giraffes is that they're very much, they have kind of the same mentality of humans. It's called babysitting mentality. It's basically whenever, it's basically whenever they would actually watch over each other's young. Now, that happens to be his actual mom, but with that, usually if there's a giraffe in the area with them or an adult giraffe in the area with them during the day, it doesn't have to be his mom, but at night it definitely does. Absolutely adorable. Now the giraffe in the road up ahead, she has a habit of doing this. My only happiness is she's still moving a lot. Of course, sometimes she will go in the afternoon and walk in front of our trucks and fall asleep. By the way, sleep for 30 minutes, which doesn't seem like a lot in general, but whenever she's in front of your truck for 30 minutes, it's a lot. Now, who would like to guess the longest animal stop or longest giraffe stop we've ever had? Anyone would just want to take a wild guess? Go ahead, sweetie.
Maybe like 40 minutes.
40 minutes? Actually 2 hours.
What?
So the reason why is because Mom decided out of all the reserve you're seeing right now, the road is where she had to give birth. So that took 2 hours. It was great. It was, you know, a wild time. Look at her. She's just still standing there. I think she's waiting for something really tasty.
Just sitting.
As long as she doesn't sit down, that's when we're not going to move for a very long time.
There she goes.
All right, Warden's helping us out over there.
Oh, no, she's like, I don't want to move.
Now, when it comes to the giraffes, especially ones on the right-hand side, they do like to give birth during the day. Actually helps their babies learn how to walk and run in the first hour of life, or they can do that on their own, sorry. But it does help out since they can, since they can walk very quickly after birth. They can practice all day long. Now Mom's starting her habit. Her habit is walking in circles, so she's going to do this for at least 30 minutes. Just walk in circles. See?
He's gonna stick his head.
He's done it before.
He's gonna do it again.
Seems like he's about to.
She's getting those steps in, guys.
Work it.
Now, I'm just very curious because babies tend to copy their moms. I wonder if he's also going to develop a habit of walking in circles for absolutely no reason. With that, I'm going to let her go ahead and make this around really quick. I don't want her to actually go in front of her. Oh, she's going behind me. Don't touch my truck. We're good. Okay, awesome. Mommy also has a habit of trying to see if our trucks are edible. They never are.
I'm enticing you. Come on.
Alright, that was a very fun time to stop and go check out this very cool animal.
That was really cool, guys.
On the left hand side, the baby giraffe that's running. Now, when they're fully grown, they can run about 35 miles an hour. Kind of looks like a rockety motion, but they do have really, really good balance. Again, Again, that's a baby giraffe on the left, not even a full year old yet. And we're gonna keep on going here. Now, as we keep on going, coming up on the right-hand side will be a couple of those wildebeests. Now, wildebeests hang out together in a very big group of 1.5 million. They travel a distance of 500 to 1,000 miles every year across the Savannah. The group is so big that you can see it from space. Looking on the right, there are those wildebeests. Now, their name is actually going to come from an Afrikaans word. It translates to English as being wild beast. They're called that because they look like wild animals. Of course, they're going to be very intimidating and very intimidating to hang out with. But actually, they're going to be very shy creatures and very friendly creatures. They can hang out with animals like the giraffes and zebras. Now, coming on up, we're making a very good visual of this wildebeest as she or he decides to stay very still. So if you're on the right, you should be getting a very good visual of this animal here, who's normally very shy, but they're getting braver by as the months goes by. Alright, gonna give it a few seconds here, make sure we have a little bit of spacing here. Don't want to crowd the animals. Now on top of the hill on the right hand side, there's another bob-up tree. That's usually going to be a good indication that there being elephants in the area. The elephants will scratch their backs on those trees, draw water from them, or just use them to sharpen their tusks.
Do you see him, Bud?
Oh, absolutely beautiful here. Alright, now let's see. The elephants should be coming up on the right hand side, so let's see what they're doing over there. There they are. A mom and daughter duo. Looks like they are still having their breakfast there. These animals, if they want to, on average, they'll eat about 300 pounds of vegetation a day. If they really want to push it, they can eat up to 600 pounds of vegetation a day. If you want to look to the left, you may see a few of those mandrills wandering about.
Yes.
Now, the mandrills are the same type of monkey Rafiki was in the Lion King movie. Not a bad film, even though he did sing about them. Now, as for the elephants on the right, the reason why they're hanging out in this area just by themselves is because the mom there happens to be one of our two matriarchs. Keep in mind, we have two female groups on the reserve, therefore one is a different group. Again, they're called the matriarchs. Now, usually during the day, especially a very busy day, she can actually be watching over her group to make sure everyone stays safe, but also her group will watch over her daughter for her. Now, of course, she will, of course, miss her daughter, so sometimes she'll go up on her own with her daughter, and they can actually just have a nice bonding day, just mom and daughter, like today. Now, as we keep on going, we're either going to see another female group or another male group. Either way, they should be coming up on the left-hand side, they should be coming up on the right. African elephants are endangered due to the poaching for their ivory tusk. Again, the tusks are made out of ivory. So by us not buying any ivory products, we can help protect them all across the world. Now, when it comes to Asian elephants, only the males grow those tusks. Not every male will grow those tusks. Because for African elephants, both males and females grow those tusks. Now, coming from the left, let's see what they're doing here. See which group this is going to be. Oh, it's going to be a mom and her 3 daughters. So the elephant facing away from us is going to be the middle child, I guess you could call her. She's the preteen. The one towards the right is actually going to be her older sister. Not really the mom. The way I'm able to tell you guys that is by looking at their tusks. The longer the tusks, the older they are. The bigger the ears, the more dominance they're going to have. Therefore, we're looking for mom. We're definitely going to be looking for the one with the biggest ears and the biggest tusks. Now, it should be another elephant in the area. Well, I'm sorry, 2 more elephants in the area, being their youngest sister, who's 4 years old, and the mom. I'm getting a good visual of mom back there past the rocks. Oh, and there's the youngest elephant. Just hanging out by herself. Now, she's been working on this hay burrito for a while, or making a perfect hay burrito. If you can see how she's trying to fold it up nice and neat. Kind of. She's working on it. Now, she likes to practice watching her mom and her siblings. And she's one day. Now, keep in mind, Mama was of course not making any eye contact with the youngest one, but she's perfectly okay just because they can't make a sound that's so low human ears can't hear it, but other elephants can hear it from 5 miles away. So right now, the mom, can we talk to our youngest daughter? And we'd never even know it just because we can't hear it. Now, the youngest elephant on our reserve is technically a toddler, but we all refer to her as a baby. So with that, we're going to keep on going for more really cool animals that may look like babies, but they're actually fully grown. These are a couple of the greater flamingos that are actually going to be the tallest species of flamingos at about 5 feet tall. In Swahili, they're referred to as hero. Now, if you can, look at the shape of the island. You might just see one of our heroes.
Mickey.
Anyone guess who it could be?
Mickey.
It's a Mickey. Good job. So yeah, you should be seeing two small circles, one big circle that is my boss in the form of an island. And let's keep on going. And coming on up, let's see, I'm seeing a lot of mud balloons here on the left hand side, which means there should be a few rhinos coming up as well. Now the rhinos in this part of the reserve are called the white rhinos. They weigh about 5,000 to 7,000 pounds. They're left to hang out together in a group referred to as a crash. It's technically called a crash because they can run 35 miles an hour without technically being able to see where they're going. Now again, they can only see about 10 feet in front of their faces, but they do run 35 miles an hour towards a lot of sound or anything that darkens them, so that they can crash into each other or just whatever's in front of them. Now if you guys would like to look above your head at the animal spotting guide to the middle and slightly to the left, you can see a nice comparative chart between the black rhino and the white rhino, just because in real life it'd be very, very hard to get those two animals to stay side by side very still. Alright, looking down the right hand side and the left hand side. Now typically there are cheetahs on the left hand side. In Swahili they're referred to as duma. They can go from 0 to 70 miles an hour in just under 10 seconds. They can hold that speed for 30 seconds per minute and cross 2 football fields in just 1 minute. They may be laying down right now, but typically they are active in the early morning times like this one. So with that, I'm going to go for one more look here in the second area. Now if they are hiding, it's mostly because they're eating. They do tend to be a little bit more secretive and private when they're eating. Up ahead, a really cool animal referred to as a water buck. You guys see her just up ahead. Now she's not going to be a boy, and as I'm using the female pronouns, she does not have any horns, therefore she is a girl. She also has a heart-shaped nose. Now she has a really cool superpower that's not activated right now, but it can be activated because of the water, either because of the watering hole or because of the rain. Now basically when her skin gets wet, she can create this oil, makes her waterproof and smells so bad, not even lions can go anywhere near her. Now, I smelled the oil. I think it smells like a wet dog and a wet cat type of fusion, but everyone says something different. Either way, it does work. Now, coming on up on the left-hand side, speaking of big cats, we're looking for the lions here. Let's see what they're doing. Oh, asleep. I should have guessed. Now, lions are nocturnal creatures. They sleep all day to go foraging or hunting at night. What's that?
They're sleeping.
I'm seeing two females here and one male.
Here they are.
Now, it happens to be the case in this group, but the two girls here are sisters in the same litter. So they do love to hang out together. They're not very territorial with each other, as most sisters tend to be. With that, looking at the male, he has a mane that weighs about 45 pounds, but typically on average weighs about 40 to 50 pounds, and just right here. If you're looking on the right, you may see a baby white rhino. We're going to see him one more time. Again, we're going to go for a closer look at him.
Okay.
But this will be the last time we can see those lions.
Ooh, look how cute.
You get a nice little visual here. I like how she's just posed so daintily in this rock here. Very cute. Of course, at any point in time, they can dream, so sometimes they do like to run in their sleep. But what that just shows you just how smart they are. In Swahili, the word for lion is the word Simba, S-I-M-B-A. Simba does mean lion in Swahili. Mufasa does mean king or leader, and Rafiki does mean friend. Speaking of friends, on the left-hand side by side will be a male and female warthog. That's a comparative chart here, or comparison here. So the one on the left is going to be a boy at 300 pounds with those 4 warts on his face. Female's going to be the one with 2 warts that we can't see very well, even if she were turned around. She also weighs about 150 pounds. Both genders can run 35 miles an hour. Puma is not the Swahili word for this animal. It's because it's going to be called ngidi. But Puma in Swahili means foolish one or dummy. The baby right now, a little bit closer view of him here. Isn't he adorable? He weighs about 1,000 pounds. Mom is going to weigh close to 5,000 pounds. Now, at maximum weight, he can easily be 7,000 pounds if he's really, really hungry. On the right will also be a couple of the rhino eggs here on the ground. Can you guys see them on the ground? Now,
She said rhino
eggs.
eggs.
About 3.5 pounds. They're so hard and heavy. A full-grown man could stay on top of them and they will not crack nor will they break.
She meant
Now,
ostrich.
the person that looked at me when I said the rhino eggs, you're correct. Rhinos can't lay eggs. Those were ostrich eggs. And with that, I will correct myself one more time. Please don't tell Mickey I told you guys rhinos can lay eggs. They cannot. Those are going to be the ostrich eggs. Now the rest of it was true. They do weigh about 3 to 3.5 pounds. They can withstand the pressure of 300 pounds. And the rhinos can identify them as being very fragile beings. So if the rhinos see them, they do actually walk around them and not step on top of them. Now coming up on the left hand side, let's see what these animals are doing. These are our newest animals, our smallest animals. Unfortunately, they're also our final animals. But these can be our Nigerian dwarf goats. Here they are, so cute.
Oh, hello. Goats.
Now they're only 2 feet tall to show this is as big as they're ever going to get, despite the fact they do look like they're babies. They love to eat because they have those 4 stomachs like the giraffes from earlier. Also, whenever they want to play together, they headbutt each other.
That's big boy.
This is very busy here. And they can either be used as pets of livestock
got a little,
in a very
there you
traditional
go.
sense of wedding present. Keep in mind, not every wedding requires a goat. And then again, these guys are so cute, it definitely wouldn't hurt. Now, these gates here, they do signify the end of the Harambe Reserve, which also means the end to our Harambe tour. Now, it's our belief here in Harambe that what you see with your eyes, you do value in your heart, and I hope that everything that you see here today
just released
especially with Rhino Eggs. Now, I hope that you guys are able to come back right as far as me as possible. Personally, I had so much fun. I think I'm going to do this again and again and again and again until 6:45 tonight. So make sure you guys are in line before 6:45 if you guys want to come back and see the animals one more time. Now, it was really fun going out there and seeing all the baby animals. Speaking of which, the name of the baby hippo from earlier, she is called Greta. Again, we saw Hunter for a nice little minute there when we were having the giraffe stop. Again, Hunter's name of the baby giraffe. We saw Ranger, the baby white rhino. We even got to see Stella, the elephant who's only 4 years old. So our toddler elephant, she was called Stella. Some of you guys may be familiar with her because she's a part of a lot of our conservation videos. And so she is, of course, eating a lot and being very healthy. Now, if you guys want to know any more information about the animals or about what's going on in the reserve, you of course feel free to come up to my window, ask me as many questions as you like. Now, of course, double check those rows, make sure you guys have everything together. If not, it'll be a very long walk back to Africa to come back and get your things. If you guys want to go pet some animals like goats, sheep, and pigs, please make sure you head on over to the entrance, to our big center watch area. That will close at 4:30, but if you guys go on over there, you can actually go pet some very cute animals, like again, goats, sheep, and pigs. Now I'll leave you guys with one final Swahili phrase, which is going to be Kwaherini. Kwaherini means to go well because saying goodbye is way too sad and way too final. So with that, friends, Kwaherini, go well, go wild, make a difference out there, and have a really great day. Watch your hands, arms, feet, and legs on the right, and sliding open. Have fun out there. Woo.
Alright guys, that was a cool safari tour. See you next video. Bye.